Good morning, friends. Good to see you here. Do you feel like singing? Let's do it. I invite you to rise in body and our spirit, and we're going to sing. This is a traditional hymn, Bright Morning Stars, maybe with some new verses that you haven't sung before, but it is what we call a zipper hymn. Once you get started with the verse, then you can maybe look away from the screen and connect with somebody. You could connect with me even. I'm up here. Bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising. Day is breaking in my soul. Rise up from morning slumber, rise up from morning slumber, rise up from morning slumber. Day is breaking in my soul. We'll raise a mighty chorus, we'll raise a mighty chorus, we'll raise a mighty chorus. Day is breaking in my soul, and we'll sing out loud for justice, we'll sing out loud for justice, we will sing out loud for justice. Day is breaking in my soul. Oh, lift your voice to heaven.
Good morning. Welcome to the Olympia Unitarian Universalist congregation. Thank you for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. My name is Des McGahern. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. I am a white man in my mid-60s with short grey hair and glasses, and today I am wearing a red sweater. Leading worship with me today is Troy Fisher, our music director, Reverend Sarah Lewis, the Director of Community and Faith Development, and Nancy Reid-McKee, who is an organizer with the Washington State Action Network, Justice Washington. Our minister, Reverend Mary Gear, is away celebrating her birthday with her family. Happy birthday, Reverend Mary. Our community envisions an interconnected world that is loving, just, and healthy. We commit to live out our mission to welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. You are welcome here just as you are. Whatever beliefs sustain you, whomever you love, however you understand and express your identity, and in all the ways you are growing and becoming. Here's a few things you should know about our service today so you can feel comfortable and welcome. Over here to my right, we have some soft chairs and activities for your hands if you are interested. We are a multi-generational community, and we welcome the company of our young ones, kids, babies, teens, right here in the sanctuary. There is also a nursery care and a story time program for children in the classroom wing. Please choose the option where you are most comfortable. We are streaming live on Zoom and on YouTube, and the service is being recorded. Subtitles tracking the service can be seen on the monitor up front here and on your personal screen for those online. We are grateful for the many hands that helped make worship happen this morning, both visible and indeed less visible. Thank you to all who contribute in so many ways. After the service, everyone will have the chance to discuss reflection questions offered by Reverend Nancy. For those online, we invite you to go into a breakout room for a virtual coffee chat. For those in person, please feel free to stay for coffee and fellowship in the Commons afterwards. At 12:15 today, please join us here in the sanctuary or back in the main Zoom room for a forum with Reverend Sarah introducing the UUA Congregational Study Action Issue for 2025-26. Abolition, Transformation, and Faith Formation. And at 2 p.m. today, the new UU class will meet in Classroom 3 to explore OUUC history and to tour our building and grounds. This class is for all who want to know more or are interested in becoming members of OUUC. Each week, this year, we will highlight an opportunity for engagement here at OUUC. This week's opportunity is the Adult Faith Development Team. This team works to organize and support classes for adults here at OUUC. They are in the Commons today and would love to answer your questions about what the team does. Look for Linda Witcher and Linda Seltzer. Next Sunday, October 5th, families and children are invited to our first family pancake breakfast at 9 a.m. Join us for a chance to get to know other families here during first service, then stay to attend second service. If you have questions, contact our RE assistant, Anissa Bethlemzani. There are many things happening at OUUC. Check out the Tuesday electronic update or the website for the most up-to-date information. Now, let us open our hearts and our minds as we prepare for worship. It is good to be together. This morning, we join Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition, with the words of Reverend Karen LeBlanc. This isn't just a place of worship. This isn't just a fellowship of like minds. This isn't just a Sunday morning filled with spirit and topped off with coffee and cookies. This is our church, our congregation, where we are building beloved community, where we are opening ourselves to each other, where we trust and love, rise and fall together. This is where we feel safe. This is where we know we are welcomed. This is where we belong. For this gift and so many others, we light our chalice.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Nancy Reid-McKee. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a 60-year-old femme-identified person with short brown graying hair. I wear glasses, and today I'm wearing sort of a black top with a brightly colored stole gifted to me on my installation. Our opening words are written by Reverend Ian Riddell. Come, come, whoever you are. Do you hear that voice calling you, calling us? That voice which calls us together here today into this space, made holy by our presence and by the sacred breath we share in our singing, in our speaking, and our silence. That voice which calls us to remember that we are not alone, that we are inextricably linked to each other, woven into a vast tapestry of existence, of which we are a powerful, integral, and holy part. And just as we have been called together here today, we act as the voice, the heart, the hands of another call. The call to walk with the wanderers, sing and dance with the worshipers, proclaim the memory of those who have taken their leave, wrap the despairing and broken in the arms of love and community, and hold hands, all of us who have broken our vows, and call us back again and again to the covenant and the work of justice, humility, and steadfast faithfulness. For this, we are here together today. So my friends, come. yet again, come, let us worship together.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. I could just tell you were itching to sing around. So let's do it. We'll divide right here through the middle, and I'll ask you to each side to sing 3 times through. And then after you've done it 3 times through, we'll start out with the though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. And then I'll ask you to come back to that because that's pretty important, huh? So let's just start there together, and then I'll bring one side in and then the other. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no yet again, come. 3rd time. Come, come, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Welcome.
Good morning, friends. It's so good to see you all here today. Oh, and look, we have another friend today, too. We have a chicken at a bus stop. Why, welcome, friend.
Well, hey, everyone. It's so nice to be here today. I'm Chai the chicken.
Oh, Chai, so nice to meet you. I'm Reverend Sarah, and this is OUUC.
Oh, you've got such nice, shiny faces.
Ah. Well, Chai, tell me, what are you up to today? Why are you at the bus stop?
Well, I'm going to go up to the Olympia National Park. I've had this dream about hiking in the woods and lying in a stream bed and just enjoying nature. So I'm going to get up there. That's why I'm here today.
That's a great idea for a day at Olympic National Park. But, Chai, I've got some bad news for you. This bus stop will not get you there.
What? I can't get there from here. It says Olympia, and I'm going to the Olympic National Park.
I see where the confusion probably came in, but yeah, this bus line just goes between Evergreen and downtown Olympia. It won't take you anywhere else.
Oh, no. I can't get there from here.
You probably can get there from here, but you're going to have to do some research on some other routes to take.
Oh, okay. I just have such a dream of where I want to go. I want to be there so badly, but maybe you're right. Maybe I should go home and maybe I should figure out the route and how to get where I want to be before I try just going out there, huh?
That sounds like a really good idea. A little research before you just set out will probably help.
All right.
All right. Well, good luck, Chai. It's really great when you have a vision of where you want to be, but if you don't know where you are, it's hard to figure out how to get from here to there. We have a vision of where we want to go and what we want. We want a beloved community and a loving, just, and healthy world. And do we know where we are? Well, we're here to be together, to explore our values, to learn and grow, practice being in covenant with other people. And we're part of this bigger UU world too, that sometimes we don't realize how many people are here with us working on this same vision of how to get from here to there. Oh, look, Chai's back. Chai, did you figure it out?
Oh, no, I got hungry.
Oh. Yeah, it's important. It's important to take care of your needs along the way, for sure.
Yeah.
So, are you looking for a snack?
Yeah, I'm going to go over to that convenience store across the road there and get some snacks, yeah.
Oh, so you're going to cross the road?
Yeah. Oh, I get it. You want to know why the chicken's crossing the road, don't you? To get to the convenience store, yes.
Yeah. But actually, Chai, if you look right behind you, there are some vending machines right where you are, and you could get a snack right where you are.
Oh, well, of course. I guess I could just buy them right here. Well, all right. Okay, I'm going to get my snack, and I'm going to go off and do my route planning.
Okay, good luck. Well, so just like Chai, sometimes we're focused on what's ahead of us, and we don't look around and notice the resources that we already have. Why, we have lots of resources. We're surrounded by other people and organizations, and as UUs, we have all the organization of the Unitarian Universalist Association and the UU Service Committee and all of these organizations that maybe we forget are there, but those resources are there for us.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, Chai.
Hey, I figured out the route.
You did? Awesome.
Yeah, it's really easy. I get to Lacey. I take the bus to Lacey train station. Then I catch the Amtrak from Lacey up to Seattle. See how easy this is? And then in Seattle, I catch another bus to the ferry station, and then I catch the ferry over to Olympia National Park. That should be really easy, huh?
It sounds super easy. Well, that sounds great. So you know where you're going from here?
No, I forgot how I got here.
Oh, you got to get back to where you started.
Yes.
Sometimes we do need to remember our history and where we came from and retrace our steps.
Yeah, I guess I have to backtrack and go back to where I came from. Okay. Bye, everybody. I'm going to go.
All right, good luck. And with that, we end our story. Thank you all.
Each Sunday, we engage in the spiritual practices of generosity and gratitude by joining together in service to our community and to something greater than ourselves. This is an opportunity to express our gratitude for the gifts that life has given us, for the network of relationships in which we live, and for the presence of this community. We each have the power to share, and when we combine our gifts to create an offering, together we are able to do more than any of us can do alone. If you are new or visiting us for the first or second time, you are our welcome guest with no expectation to contribute. However, if you are moved to be part of our offering, what you share will be most gratefully received. The offering collected here does two things. It helps support the ongoing work of this congregation, which is also supported by our regular pledges. The other half of our offering goes to charity. Most is shared with an organization that serves our community in harmony with our Unitarian Universalist values, and a small portion goes to the OUUC Ministers Benevolence Fund to support the more urgent needs in our community. Our Share the Plate organization for this month is South Puget Sound Habitat for Humanity. This is what they share about their work.
Hello, OUUC. My name is Elizabeth Walker. I am the CEO of South Puget Sound Habitat for Humanity. Thanks so much for including us as a part of your Share the Plate contribution. It's the support of community members like you that make our work possible. Our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live, and we try to live into this vision every day through our programming. You probably know us through our home building program. This is where we work to make sure our neighbors in Thurston County can afford their homes and thrive and live and stay in this community. We are currently building 28 new townhomes in a development in Tumwater, and we also have a lot of work in the pipeline and 2 big projects in Olympia and Yelm. If this sounds interesting to you, we would love to have you out on the site to volunteer. Less known is our work in home repairs. Often it's a leaky roof or a water heater that makes the difference between a homeowner being able to stay in their home or not. And our home repair programs make sure that they can stay and they can stay affordably. We also support aging in place through home improvements like tub to shower conversions and wheelchair ramps. You may have a friend, a neighbor, a congregation member that could use some support in this area, either through aging in place or through critical home repairs. If they need a hand, send them our way. We know that housing is one of the most pressing challenges of Thurston County. People that choose to partner with us come from all walks of life, and they know that in this climate, a working parent with 2 kids often doesn't have a chance of buying their own home. By donating, by being a part of this Share the Plate, you're helping to create new affordable homeownership opportunities for our community. So please join us online, sign up to volunteer, spshabitat.org. We really appreciate your support and would love to meet you.
May the offering now be generously given as it is gratefully received.
Thank you for your generosity in all the ways that you share your gifts. This morning we do what humans have done for all of our existence. We gather in times of worry and anxiety, and in times of celebration and of joy. We come into our community here, bringing all that is in our minds and in our hearts. Let's open our hearts to the complexity of life as we place stones in the water of our community. You'll hear a drumbeat. Allow its resonance into your body. It is the heartbeat of life, the heartbeat of community. Right now, I invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the air in your body. Feel the earth beneath us. Feel the warmth of connection. Let's open our circle wide. For those on Zoom, I invite you to share from your heart by entering in the chat Those in the sanctuary can see your sharing on the screen, and it's shared with Reverend Mary and the pastoral care team. For those of you here, I invite you to come forward if there's something that you would like to bring into this community. You may place your stone in the water. As you hold it, hold that sharing in your heart. Let us hear the heartbeat of our community and reach out our hearts in love and care to all those who share. We place a stone in the water for all that has been shared online, shared from the heart. And we'll place one more stone in the water for all that we hold in our hearts and that remain unspoken among us. We hold together all that has been shared. May you feel yourself witnessed. May you know yourself beloved. I invite you to share in a guided meditation this morning, if you're willing. Please make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you wish, and focus on your own breathing. Let's take 3 deep breaths in and out together. Breathing in and out. In and out. And once more. Picture in your mind your favorite river or small brook. Visualize the water and where it is. In a meadow or on a mountainside. On a warm summer day or a cold, snowy moment. Imagine this. Notice the way the water moves, the way it holds its own space, the way it impacts that which surrounds it. Notice how the water feels. Is it warm? Is it icy? Is it refreshing? Notice how it tastes. Notice the color of the water and its smell. Be aware of what's carried by the water. Small bits of plant or animal, particles of soil or sand, fish and other aquatic creatures, some too small to be seen by human eyes. Experience what it's like to be in that water. Are you floating on the top, swimming deep, or just letting the water run over you? Become one with the water, carrying what it carries, taking its form. Imagine yourself as fluid, moving over and around rocks, flowing downstream without harm or hurt, just shaping your own path through crevices in the rock. Feel the changing nature of your being as you grow with other streams and rivers joining you in your banks. You gain power and force, relentless energy that moves rocks and trees. And now trace your path downstream a bit to a place where you become a freshwater lake, with water spilling in through the lake's inlet and leaving at its outlet. You are constantly renewed by a fresh supply of water and sending your own living waters forth, carrying a rich mixture of life and life-giving soil. You feel full, but not overfull, strong and deep, full of motion, and yet somehow stable in your very lake bed. Storms rock you, but only in isolated places. You're always in motion, ever restless, always changing, part of the essential nature of the earth itself. Feel your endless motion as your gentle waves rise and fall. As you breathe, reflect on the ways in which your life resembles the water. And when you're ready, please return slowly to your own body, to your own chair, to this space. Gently bring yourself back to this place.
I invite you to remain seated and let's sing together, There Is a Love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love. We rest in this love.
These are the words of Rosemary Bray McNatt in her essay on faith, found in the Unitarian Universalist Pocket Guide, 7th edition. Unitarian Universalism is a non-creedal faith. Rather than a common theology, we are bound by our common history, our affirmation of each person's spiritual quest, and the promises we make to one another about the spiritual values we uphold. Whether you revere God, Goddess, nature, the human spirit, or something holy that you have no name for, you are welcome to join any Unitarian Universalist community and to worship, study, work, and be in relationship with people who are all on their own spiritual paths. There have always been people of faith like us. We are the people who sought a religion marked by freedom and reason and acceptance, in addition to faith and hope and love. Our forebears are martyrs who died for religious freedom, ministers who preached that no one is damned to hell or outside the reach of divine love, thinkers who taught us that no spiritual tradition has a monopoly on wisdom, and activists who focused our attention on bettering this world rather than placing our hope in the afterlife. Unitarian Universalism is especially important right now because something sinister is brewing in our culture and our world again, a harsh and hateful fundamentalism. We, with deep roots in democracy and in community, provide a corrective, saving place. We believe in building and sustaining communities of memory and hope, in providing way stations of resistance for a people and a world battered by the relentless assault of intolerance. If you share our vision, we welcome your voice, your hands and feet, your restless heart. Come yet again, come.
In 2001, I was new to the Unitarian Universalist faith, and I had just been a new member of the church for a few months. It was a transitional time in my life. Not only had I just moved to a new town and started a new job, but my father was in hospice care. So I had begun the work of imagining parenting and childing in different ways. So I felt adrift and very fragile. My plan for that upcoming summer was to travel back to my home near Cleveland, Ohio, to spend some last days with my father. I shared this plan with my minister, expecting his care and his support. I was surprised when instead he got excited by the serendipity that he was looking for someone to travel to Cleveland at the exact time that I was going there, because the Unitarian Universalist Association was having its General Assembly there that year, and the church needed a delegate to represent them at the National Business Gathering. Not what I had planned. I had no idea what going to the General Assembly entailed. I had little sense of the scope of the UU world. So I can't begin to explain my reaction when my little lost soul walked out onto the balcony overlooking the exhibit hall, and in front of me there were literally thousands of people in at least 100 different booths. The booths had banners promoting fair trade coffee, vegetarians for animal rights, Buddhist UUs. There was a socialist bookstore right next to Harvard Divinity School, and a store selling Guatemalan clothing. And there was a red tent for feminist discussions and a giant floor labyrinth for people walking on, and a pagan solstice celebration being held. And people of all sorts and ages were talking and drinking coffee. Of course they were drinking coffee, signing petitions and laughing and laughing. I was overcome. I was overwhelmed. I was awed. And I had this deep sense of belonging, of finding myself surrounded by people like me, people longing for a different world, people of reason and acceptance, people of faith, of hope, of love. The words of Starhawk come to mind each time I remember this experience. She wrote, "We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned, we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community." I'm telling you this story because for many of us, we come here because we are looking for a place where we might belong. We may have longed to be with others who are also in search of a meaningful life. We may have been raised in a church or a tradition that didn't fit us in one way or another. Maybe it was too liturgical. Maybe it required beliefs or behaviors that didn't sit well with us. Or maybe we wanted to be with others who are engaged in changing the world. I fit all three of those categories. Those are the reasons why I come to the UU faith. Having a congregation like this is vital to me. I think it's vital to many people. And in these times of social upheaval, I believe that it is essential to keep this progressive, liberal faith present and active. And to keep this church strong, we need to keep the underlying structure of our whole faith integrated and solid. And yes, I admit it, I am an unapologetic institutionalist. Before I went into ministry, I was trained as a community organizer, where they teach us that our strength either comes through organized money or organized people. And let's face it, we're never going to have that kind of money to make much of an impact in the world. But we can organize people who make up our congregations. And we can organize our congregations so that together we can uphold those values that we promote and push those into the world and how decisions are made and how we live within the wider world. We need to be part of supporting the UU faith tradition so that we have strong leadership, clear presence, and so that we maximize our power to shape this world together.
Our second reading is a video that will provide us with an overview of the Unitarian Universalist organization, maybe setting the stage for understanding where we fit into this faith universe.
We are Unitarian Universalists. We are people of many paths who are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. Every day, people are inundated with information, overwhelmed by demands, and pulled by a culture that seeks to divide us from the web of life. Unitarian Universalism reconnects, bringing people together with meaning and inspiration. We are a house without walls, a congregation without spiritual limits, and a movement that calls you to put more faith in yourself, your community, and your beliefs. We are a faith that honors your mind, your heart, your journey. Simply put, we are a guided path towards a better you and a better world. Grounded in hundreds of years of thoughtful, religious communities, we are people of many generations, ethnicities, genders and sexualities, and spiritual backgrounds. People engaged in making the world a better place. People focusing on what really matters: love, justice, integrity, and hope. Unitarian Universalists have different beliefs, but shared values. We are Unitarian Universalists, and at the same time, we may also be agnostic, Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, humanist, Jewish, Muslim, pagan, atheist, believers in God, and those who let the great mystery be. The diversity of beliefs you'll find in a Unitarian Universalist community is one of our strengths. We're always learning how to see the world from a different perspective. What unites us are our core principles that uphold 7 real-world values: believing in the worthiness of every person, showing compassion and fairness, accepting others for who they are, growing through a personal search for truth, leading with democratic spirit, working for justice, and understanding that everything is interconnected. 7 days a week, Unitarian Universalists live these principles by doing. When we gather, we worship, reflect, and remind ourselves what matters most in life. Whatever our age, we learn to live with more wisdom, more awareness, more gratitude, and more soul. We show our values by showing up to answer the call for social justice. We have a track record of siding with love for civil rights, LGBTQ equality, immigration reform, environmental sustainability, reproductive justice, racial justice, and more. Find what it means to live your deepest values out loud. Join us on this extraordinary adventure of faith.
It was in 1648, during the early days of our history, that we signed the Cambridge Platform. I know, you're dying to know what that is, aren't you? This was a statement about congregational polity, meaning that we believed that each congregation should have their own authority in how they govern themselves. This was specifically in reaction to the hierarchical structures of churches in England and Europe that had bishops and popes who had full authority over each of the churches. Congregational polity removed the hierarchy and returned autonomy to the individual church. This meant the authority and responsibility was given to each member of the congregational community. This placed the decision-making and responsibility maintaining the church squarely on the shoulders of each member of each congregation. It was over 200 years before any national organization for Unitarians or Universalists developed, because the congregational churches had a lingering, deep distrust of institutional power. To this day, the UU Association, which is our national organization, has no authority over the congregations, but instead it's here to serve each congregation. They are in the enviable position of leading over 1,000 churches without having any authority to tell any of them what to do. Conrad Wright, the UU historian, wrote this about the UUA. Sometimes, perhaps when we are tired and exasperated, we think of it as a distant bureaucracy and berate it as though it was something alien that has somehow been saddled upon us. And sometimes, in a more reasonable mood, we recognize that it is there to serve us, not merely with things like hymn books and religious education materials, but also with established and responsible agency. The UUA organizes our annual meeting of the General Assembly each June, where every church sends delegates who vote on the policies, leaders, and activities of the whole denomination. They establish and maintain the health insurance policies, retirement funds, and common endowment funds that all congregations participate in. They have expertise for congregational governance. They assist churches who are searching for a minister. And they certify the qualifications of all ministers, so we do not have rapscallions running amok among us. They organize the national justice initiatives, such as the voting registration drive, marriage equality, immigration justice, racial equity, and climate change justice. The UUA and all the associated groups help to organize us so we function more efficiently. There are two officially recognized affiliate organizations of the UUA. The first is the UU Women's Federation, which became consolidated over 55 years ago, joining the Association of Universalist Women with the Alliance of Unitarian Women. They have consistently advocated for equal voting, reproductive justice, immigration reform, economic justice, and other issues as these impact on women and girls. The second affiliate organization is the UU Service Committee, called the UUSC, which began in 1939 when Reverend Waitzel and Martha Sharp took an extraordinary risk, helping refugees escape Nazi persecution in Europe. Today, the UUSC advances human rights and social justice around the world, partnering with those who confront unjust power structures and mobilizing to challenge oppressive policies. Their work is grounded in the belief that all people have inherent worth and dignity. Then there are countless other national groups that support us. There are UU groups that help with our spiritual growth, such as the UU Christian Fellowship, the UU Muslim Association, the Humanist Association, UU Mystics, UUs for Jewish Awareness, the UU Wellspring of Spiritual Deepening, and the online Church of the Larger Fellowship, which is the largest UU congregation in the United States with over 3,500 members, primarily made up of UU ministers and incarcerated people. There are UU identity groups. There's a diverse and revolutionary UU multicultural ministries, DRUM for short. There's equal access for those living with disability. There's the Latino UU Network Association, the Transgender Religious Professionals Working Together, UU Mental Health Network, Young Adult Revival Network. And there are national groups that organize around justice work. Not only are some of these located within the UUA, such as the Side with Love programs, But there are many separate groups that organize. There's the National UUs for Social Justice. And there over half the states in the country have created state action networks like our own Just Washington, gathering UUs in their state to address the particular needs that they are confronting. In addition, there are these groups: UUs for a just economic community, UUs for justice in the Middle East, the UU Ministry for Earth, UU Refugee and Immigrant Services and Education, Black Lives UU, Allies for Racial Equity, UU Alternatives to the Death Penalty, Faithful Fools, and the UU Animal Ministry. We have over 20 camps and annual conferences. We have 2 primary seminaries. There's the Meadville Lombard in Chicago and the Star King School of the Ministry based in California. We have regional organizations that have staff who know our congregation well and who support the ministry of this particular church. And we have international groups that connect us with UUs in places such as India, Indonesia, and Transylvania, where we have a group of people right now. I'm not telling you everything, but there isn't really much point in listing more, right? Your brains are probably like, The point of all this is what you need to know is that the UU world is vast and wide, and there are resources, experts, and participants across the country joining us in this work of creating beloved community. I have traveled the country and visited many UU congregations, and one of the things that often concerns me is when the individual church sees itself in isolation. They don't understand the connections. They may define themselves as a group of quirky misfits, the place where oddballs from town are welcome. And that's not wrong, and that's actually beautiful. But if the church sees itself only in this sense of isolation, the justice work that they do often just follows the passions of individuals. It doesn't form congregational cohesion, and sometimes doesn't seem connected with the national UU justice efforts. And in that isolation, they don't connect with other UU churches, eventually losing the sense of connection to the larger faith tradition, as seen when they don't send delegates, their congregational representatives, to the annual business meetings, and they don't pledge to send the money needed to keep the national organization alive. In order to keep this congregation's attention on how we belong to the larger faith, I have been tasked with creating a denominational affairs team here. This team will work to keep connected, reminding us to participate in the local, regional, and national Unitarian Universalist efforts. And I'm inviting you to join me in the work this coming year. I need people to team up with me. After the last service, I had 3 people already come up and say that they'd like to be part of this work. Earlier, as Sarah was talking to Chai the chicken, she reminded Chai that you need to know where you're starting from and where you want to go in order to plan your route there well. There are many people who have traveled the path we are on now, the path of organizing so that we can live our values into the world. And we don't need to do this alone. There are many existing groups and resources in our vending machines. Today, the invitation is to explore how we can deepen our connection with others in our UU universe. Amen. Blessed be.
I invite you to rise and let's sing together hymn number 318, We Would Be One. We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true.
We extinguish our chalice with the words of Cheryl Block. As we go forward into this frightening, exhilarating, confusing, miraculous world, may we offer our comfort to the afflicted, our love to those who are lonely, and our wish for all to be safe. Go in peace. Go in love. Go.